The finals just had its brand new update 5.2. We'll go over all the details there, the patch notes, the new World Tour update. Then we'll jump over to the community mentionables, as well as potentially some developer updates, which do include the store update, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so first up, as always, we'll get into update 5.2. That will jump us over onto the Discord side of things, where this time we do actually have Embark Dusty doing the patch notes. They wanted to say, hello folks. In Sweden we say God fortsättning, which is actually a greeting phrase in Sweden, and it's essentially the continuation of Christmas. It's useful during December 25th to December 30th, or even the continuation of Happy New Year. So it's essentially their greeting phrase for Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. They of course do mention that here, but they also go on to say that soon it's time to ring in the new year, so they prepared a new shop and a new stop on the World Tour for you. They're dropping actually both of those during this update. Of course, they do say they managed a few fixes here, but we'll go over those in a second. They do also mention here that, of course, the commentator issue, where they said that was meant to be played once in a blue moon, so it should be safe to turn on your commentators. Dusty does continue on here to say that for the new World Tour stop, there is something called a boost protocol, where you can hop in, play with your friends for an extra XP boost. And you can even check out the special Sis Horizon Arena, which has been taken over by Via. That is in celebration of the final week of the official sponsor, which does actually look pretty cool. The whole arena is nearly white, just like the Via sponsorship, and there's a ton of branding around the arena. Seems like they really do want to lean into the sponsorships a bit more, as they have redecorated nearly all the maps with new arena sponsorships. Of course, they did talk to me about that during the developer Q&A session we had, and like the onboarding session for the new season. So I do think in the future they're going to lean into this a lot more. Pretty cool there though, and if you do have some friends you want to party up with, you can get yourself an XP boost as well. That does cover it for the opening statement over in the Discord by Dusty, but now that brings us to the official patch notes. Of course, we have a brand new weekly store update, where that does actually bring us 4 brand new bundles. The first one here being the Celebration Strikes, which is a pretty awesome RPG skin. Next up we have the Timeless Reveler set, which is a nice little top hat, a mustache, and a monocle, which does also include a different bundle here, the Midnight Spark set. And last up here, one set of weapon skins, the Larisma set 2. And of course, why it's called set 2 is because we've already had a bundle like this, but they are now bringing it for more weapons. So pretty cool there overall, and a pretty diverse set of cosmetics. Then back to the patch notes, they do talk about the new World Tour stuff, the Boost Protocol XP that we've already went over, and they do showcase here the 4 maps for that World Tour, which are the new Sis Horizon sponsored by Via. With the last 3 rounding out, we have Bernal, Kyoto, and Monaco. Last up here for the patch notes, we have 2 additional content and bug fixes here, where yes, they did fix that audio issue where they did an experimental voice line featuring player names that were far too often and only mentioned a single name, which was that TTV Screwy. They did apologize to him specifically. They also do say this feature mentions some new fine-tuning, but for now, you should at least not hear the same voice line over and over again. So hopefully a bit of mix and match there. If you didn't know, they didn't really talk about this, but they added a feature in essentially that would call out some of the top players from last season, which I do think overall was really cool and it recognizes the community in some interesting ways. However, yeah, they unfortunately had it mention a single name way too often, and it was just doing it nearly every 2 minutes in a match. So they have adjusted and fixed that overall. Now they do have one more fix here for contracts, where they did temporarily remove 2 contracts that were not functioning as intended. I went over one of those last time. However, hopefully that does remove it from your club slot. That way you can farm out those and get more contracts done. That does cover it for the patch note side of things. Of course, it is a bit of a shorter one this time, but it is the holiday season, so the fact that we even got one this week is pretty insane. And the fact that they've kept up with weekly store updates is pretty insane too. Moving on here, we do have some mentionables from the community, where this first one here is from the subreddit, and this person made a post over 217 days ago asking for a top hat cosmetic in the game. And of course, they finally did get their wish today. And he mentions here that his joy is immeasurable. So cool that he finally got his wish and he did get the cosmetic he liked. We also have this post pointing out a fire grenade, but that someone made IRL. Now this thing even lights up, or you can even light it, and it looks like the lighter fluid actually makes up the bottom portion. So it's really cool there overall, and actually looks like almost like a fire grenade. Pretty insane how accurate this is. Now the person that made this post on the final subreddit is not actually the creator. The creator and source is actually on Bilibili, which is a Chinese version of YouTube. Now they do showcase this in its full glory. If you do want to see it, I'll actually link to the video down below. and they do supposedly have a workshop for it where they do sell it. However, you have to buy it disassembled. Now, I do believe the reason why you have to buy it that way is because you're not actually able to ship lighter fluid. So if you ever bought anything online, or if you ever bought a lighter online, they can't actually ship you with lighter fluid in there. Now, you might have to buy this disassembled if you really did want it. I'm going to link down below to the video as well as where he has his little shop. This was done by Yasa's Special Effects Workshop. Again, I can't say for sure if you'll receive anything, and of course with international shipping, but I'll link down below if you do want to check it out, maybe potentially try to get it. Still very cool overall and pretty insanely accurate. So definitely worth the check out just to see how it actually does function, at least as far as the video goes. I'll link down below to the Reddit post as well as the Bilibili link so you can watch the video. Another creation here was done by somebody actually on the subreddit, and this one was done by Socks Fishy, where he did actually what looks like a custom creation or a custom clock creation for a Samsung smartwatch. At least I believe so, as it is one of the round ones. And this is in the Ospuze logo. Really cool there. I hope they release this or at least showcase this to other people. I'm not exactly sure how the custom watch stuff works, at least as far as Samsung watch faces go, but I'm assuming that people can download these or maybe share them or use them as widgets. That'd be pretty cool if it were released to others or people could share that back and forth. Again, you'll have to let me know on which one this is specifically. I do believe this is probably a Samsung watch. Speaking of Reddit posts, we have another one here, and this person is asking for the capes to be as backwear category. That way they can use capes on other outfits and other shirts and other sweatshirts. Might be cool if they did have a separate category for that, or at least for capes, although they might have to have some sort of warning letting you know that there's going to be a ton of clipping with that, as I can probably imagine how bad clipping will be on some of the outfits. More than likely they do want to keep the quality up there with that, but it would be cool if we could mix and match capes with different outfits. Again, not exactly sure if they're going to do that. They're going to have to separate a lot of those cosmetics out, or maybe we even do get eventually a cape that is considered a back bling or backwear. We'll have to wait and see on that, what they do. There is a lot of diversity with the cosmetics already, and that's probably not going to be high up on their priority list. Last up here, of course, we do have my community mentionables, where we do have those outfits from the Star Models page over on my Discord. Again, if you want to participate, just go to the link down below, join my Discord, and post to the Finals Runway page, and you might get selected and placed on the Star Models page if you receive enough fire emotes. First up here to round out the holiday season, we do have this one here from Automoto, who has the title here saying he's making a list. And of course, this is a really cool Santa Claus cosplay here, or outfit. I think that one's really cool. Again, perfectly fitting for the time. Next up here, we have another version of TF2, or another variant. This is by Hoster, who showcases a Via-themed TF2 spy. Of course, he says thanks to the Icicle Dagger skin. Yeah, this one looks really cool overall. A lot of TF2 fans, of course, as it is a pretty big classic, but I like that people are able to make this in the finals. Of course, that does cover it for today's video. I do want to say I hope you guys all had a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to those that do celebrate it. I hope that all went well for all of you. If you did like today's video, like and subscribe, and until the next one. Deuces!